This is going to be your August 2022 astrology read. This is just going to be a general, quick reading. It's not going to get too deep, too in depth, but it's just going to give you some general information about the planetary alignments and the houses that they're going to be in for you, and how those energies may affect those areas or houses. They may affect those areas of your life. So this is a general. So as you know, take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you need a personal, my information is in the box below. So, you know, we are in Leo season. So shout out to my Leo Virgo cuspers. And in your first house, we got Mercury coming into your first house on the 4th. Mercury is your ruler, right? So, you know, your first house has to deal with you standing your ground. Okay, it has to deal with how you allow yourself to be seen by others. It deals with your leadership abilities, your decision-making skills. You know, it's all about, you know, the high stakes, how you handle high stakes, how you take risks. It also is an energy of, you know, what you do when you're at the crossroads, you know, and how you create luck for yourself, right? So we got Mercury there. Mercury is the energy of how you process things, how you look at things, how you interpret things, how you understand things, why you understand it the way you understand it. And it's going to be manifested in a Virgoian way. Virgo's very analytical. Virgo analyzes things and it breaks it down to the very last compound. It doesn't leave out any details. So some of you are going to be looking at things really focused on what's going on, really paying attention to what it is, like the small details of things. All right. And you may have people, you could be doing that in the sense of how you present yourself. You could be really analyzing, like, okay, the people around me are acting a certain way, or they're treating me a certain way, or I want people to act and treat me a certain way. So let me take a look at myself and see how I'm projecting myself. How am I putting myself out there? You know, why are people perceiving me this way? And this is the way I want them to perceive me. Or, you know, and being, sometimes it could be kind of negative, okay? Because it could be too self-critical. A lot of people will say, oh, Virgo's very critical and they're mean and they're very picky. But what a lot of people don't understand is you could appear that way externally, but nobody picks themselves apart more than a Virgo. Like that I do understand, right? So be careful, be kind to yourself, okay? Don't beat yourself up. Don't, you know, put yourself in a position where you're trying to be perfect. Just be you, baby. You know, people love you for you. You could also be in the spotlight being criticized, you know, so just be careful of that. An example would be, you know, Beyonce. She's a Virgo. She's being criticized right now by Khalees. I just did the Leo astrology read. And so you may want to check that out if you're into what's going on between them two. But this is just, I'm using them as examples because these are the prime, the planetary alignments of what could be going on and what could be unfolding. And that Leo one definitely point. It reflects in Beyonce's story. Like all the placements that are going on for the life that's going on is following it to a T. Down on you, because you know things like contracts, right? So, for example, what Beyonce is doing is she's, from what I saw, she's deciding to remove Khalees off of the album because she used Khalees without her permission, right? So she's in the spotlight now, being criticized for that, being criticized for, you know, copying off of other artists besides Khalees, but Khalees is the one who stood out. So you could be in a situation where people are criticizing your behavior, your moves, the way you do things. So just be, you know, alert of that. And what could be opposing that is your 7th house, which is your relationships. So in your business relationships, because we got energy in your 10th house, where it's your career, that could be going on. In your personal relationships, that could be going on as well. So with your 7th house, we got you got Neptune in retrograde there. So somebody could be revealing. Now I don't know if you were doing anything behind the scenes. The opposite polarity is Neptune retrograde. Okay, so in this example that I'm going to give you, Beyonce's a Virgo sun. Okay, Mercury's in her first house. All right, the opposite polarity is that is her seventh house. She has Neptune retrograde there. Neptune's about bringing down the veil, right? Bringing down the illusion of what's really going on. And so what's happening is she's being exposed. So if you've been doing anything behind the scenes, Virgo, somebody is going to expose that. Okay, so that could be why the sun is shining on you in reference to this Mercury being in Virgo. So if there's anything that you've been doing, or even if it was something that you weren't doing, people could just be coming at you criticizing you for whatever reason. Okay, so if you were doing anything, it's gonna come out. Okay, just know that. So you're gonna have to be prepared to stand your ground. Okay, okay, whether you did it or didn't do it. People are going to be seeing that, okay, if you were hiding something or covering, it doesn't be anything major. Maybe you were just hiding something or putting, maybe you were trying to keep their eyes off of you and what's going on with you. And people are saying, oh, okay, you're busy criticizing me, but look at what's going on with you. So it could be that type of thing going on, okay? So just be careful. Just know that, you may have to stand your ground against people who have issues with something you're doing. Maybe you didn't know you were doing it. It may not be anything intentionally, but people could be pointing something out to you, and maybe they're saying, okay, you're too critical, you need to let things go. Don't be so critical about things. Stop being so judgmental or still so picky. Maybe let things go a bit, or don't overanalyze it, Virgo. Take, just something and let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it could be that type of thing, or maybe that could be you telling yourself this. Like, okay, I've been trying to make this decision for the past week. I don't know what to choose. I don't know what contract to sign. I don't know, which one I should do, or maybe you see that a particular contract that's been presented to you or something that someone has said to you is not really the truth, and you're exposing them. So it's one way or the other, okay? Now, you don't have much going on in your second house, but you got the South Node in your third house, all right? So your third house has to deal with the way you express yourself, your ideas, all right? And you got Scorpio there, and it's in the South Node. So Scorpio in the South Node is very toxic energy, okay? So it could be the way that you're expressing yourself. People may be accusing you of sirens. Okay, so it could be people saying that you're being negative in some way, shape, or form, or you may be approaching someone saying, hey, I don't like the way that you're coming at me, or I don't like the way things are going down. It's very negative. So you could be expressing that, or you could be expressing that you want change in something. Or someone could be expressing that they want you to change in some way, shape, or form. And this could be coming out in any of your relationships, whether it's your friends, whether it's your business partnerships, whether it's your intimate partnerships, okay? You are being presented with information where you're trying to figure out and assess what will be the next step, what should be the best step, because this is what's going on, right? So that's what's going on in your third house. You don't got much going on in your fourth house, but in your fifth house, we got Pluto there in retrograde. Now, your fifth house has to do with what you do for fun, what you do for leisure, the inner child in you. It also talks about your children. So with Pluto retrograde here, you could be, some of you may be pregnant, or you could be thinking about having a child. Some of you may have gotten someone pregnant, or you're considering getting someone pregnant. Some of you, unfortunately, may have lost a child, so my condolences to you. And so, maybe some of you may find out that you can't have children, and I'm sorry about that as well for others of you, who are going through that. There could be some people going through that, okay? Some of you are, starting to realize that you need to have a little bit more fun. Your partners, your friends, maybe your family, they're saying you need to relax and unwind. Maybe they're saying you're working too much, you're working too hard. Let's have some fun, okay? So maybe some of you are reassessing the way that you have fun, or reassessing why you haven't had fun in so long, or why something you used to enjoy, you don't enjoy it anymore. So, these things you're going to be thinking about when it comes to your fifth house, okay? Capricorn is an energy of restriction, it's an energy of restraint, it's an energy of rules and regulations. So you be looking at, what I do for fun, I'm not doing that anymore. Or now I'm going to do something different. Or now, I'm going to change the way I do this. Like usually I'll go on the weekends, but now I'm just going to go, every other weekend. Or now I'm going to participate and do this only, this amount of time. Or now I'm going to do it more because I want to have more fun, right? So this is all about you having fun, thinking about how you have fun, thinking about, it could also be about, you being very restrictive on your child and your children. Maybe your children or family members are telling you, hey, you're too strict on that child. Let that child have some fun. Or your child is being, or your shelter, or maybe you went through this as a child and you're thinking about how your childhood was. It could be something like that, okay? But Pluto is all about, do you want to end something or do you want to change it and move forward? One or the other. Or do you want to place some rules? So some of you might be placing rules on your children and what they're doing as far as whatever it is they do. Whether it's school, it could be like, all right, calm down now. We got to get ready to go back to school. So some of you could be trying to get the kids to go back to school, getting them ready, things like that. Maybe you are a teacher. Maybe you're going back in. And maybe you're considering, different things that are going on in reference to, teaching, school, the children, things like that. So it just depends on how that's affecting you, but some of you may be feeling that energy. Now, in your sixth house, this is the house of your routines, your patterns, the things you do on a regular basis. You get up every morning, you do this. You get up every morning, you brush your teeth, you wash your hair, you take a shower, you work out, whatever you do, whatever your regular routines are, right? This also has to do with your health. We have Saturn here in retrograde in Aquarius. So Saturn, in your sixth house. So this could be about, Saturn's about restrictions and restraints. Some of you may be open to doing things differently. I just feel the energy of you being in reevaluation mode about a lot of things that are going on in your life. Really assessing what's important to you, what's not important to you, what you want to let go of, what's working, what's not working. Some of you are in the midst of changing your patterns and routines because you're looking at it like this doesn't work anymore. I used to do this, but it didn't work anymore. Should I stop doing this? Or this is what I was doing, but now it's not working. So maybe I shouldn't do this anymore, right? So there could be that type of energy going on, and it's going to come out in a very Aquarian type of way where you may be consulting with friends about, hey, maybe you're going to start hanging out with friends more, or maybe you're going to start, because I do see that you guys need to have a little bit more fun. Some of y'all are stressed out for whatever reason. I don't know if it has to do with your children, or maybe you work in an environment with children, but for others of you, you just need to have some fun and you need to find constructive ways to release the pressure and the stress that's going on with you. Now, your seventh house of partnerships, you got Neptune in retrograde there and you got Pisces there. So this is what's opposing your first house. So like I was saying, you can have some people coming around criticizing you about what you're doing, because maybe they see something that you didn't, or it could be people saying that you're too strict. You need to let go, let loose, have a little bit more fun. Or this could be you saying, yo, I need a vacation. I need to have some fun. I need to take a break. Maybe you haven't taken a vacation in a while. That could be why Pluto's in retrograde in Capricorn. Maybe you usually do something every year, and now because of COVID, you don't do it anymore. So now you're trying to figure out, maybe you used to vacation in a certain spot, and now you don't anymore. Or maybe you want to change that up now, all right? But with your seventh house here of partnerships, there's some things that are being revealed to you. And again, I feel that this is an energy more so of seeing things for what they are and not being so controlling with your relationships, learning that, you have to let go. You can't be so critical, or letting go of people who are being critical of you. Because again, I just feel the energy of you having to stand your ground against people criticizing you for whatever reason, okay? So you may have to get to a point where you're like, okay, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Or you'll get to a point where you're like, you know what, no, that's not the issue. What the real issue is blah, blah, blah. Okay? So you could have different relationships where, you're seeing people for who they truly are, or people could be revealing to you things that they see in you that maybe you didn't see it before. And now it's being presented to you and you're like, okay, I see what you're saying now. All right, it makes sense. Especially when it comes to you assessing yourself. Now, your eighth house, this is where your psyche is, right? Why you do the things you do. And this is about the house of your, if you have a significant other and the energy you and this person create, whether it's in business or whether it's in love. Now, we got Jupiter in there in retrograde, and we got Chiron in there in retrograde, and that's Aries, okay? So based on your psyche, you could be looking at, okay, I want to expand, I want to take a risk. Or you could be looking at a situation like, yo, I might have got caught out there. Like, for example, Beyonce. She could be thinking psychologically, yo, I got caught out there. I shouldn't have took a risk and did that. I shouldn't have put her on the album without really checking with her. I shouldn't have did that. That's Jupiter in retrograde. And then Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is an energy that it's a wound that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your days on this planet. You're going to have to learn to live with it. So it could be the public embarrassment, that Beyonce is going to have to live with, that this situation occurred. So that's just an example. Doesn't mean you're going to be experiencing that, but it could be that, there's something that is going to be exposed about you from people that you may have been dealing with, and it's going to hurt. It might hurt like hell, right? And it may really bother you, but it's something that you're going to have to, like my friend used to say, put an H on it and handle it. Like, you're going to have to keep moving regardless of that pain. It'll get better over time. It'll never go away, but it will get better. That's what Chiron is all about, the wounded healer. He still does what he does, even though he has his own wounds. He's still able to help others and to do what his calling is, regardless to his own individual pain and suffering. So for some of you, you're still going to have to march on. We all have to, because wherever Chiron is, we're all assessing that pain in our life, and we're all going to have to move on. So, this could have to do with, what's going on behind the scenes, which is the 8th house energy. So things that you've been doing behind the scenes that people may not know about, it just depends on what it is, but it comes out in a very Aries way. Doing things that you want to do, the way you want to do it. You're not worried about what anybody else has to say. You're going to go ahead and take that leap regardless. So just keep that in mind in reference to your thoughts and how you're looking at your situation and how you're assessing the situation that people are bringing to you. If people are criticizing you or, ridiculing you about something, or this could just be self-assessment as well. Now let's take a look at what's going on in your 9th house. Your 9th house is your wisdom. It's the experiences that you've had that bring you to the wisdom that you have an understanding of right now, okay? We got the North Node there because that's where Taurus is for you. So the North Node is there. We got Mars there, and we got Uranus there. Uranus is in retrograde on the 24th, and I'm going to do a separate reading for you with the Uranus retrograde energy in your 9th house. I'll just talk about it briefly here. So your North Node is, with the North Node being here in your 9th house, is this like an energy of you rebelling, right? With the Uranus energy in retrograde, it's like you rebelled. You did something, right? And you rebelled, or someone rebelled against you in some way, shape, or form. Your behavior, your action, someone rebelled against it and brought it to your attention, or you're rebelling against someone and you're bringing it to their attention. And now with Uranus in retrograde, you're dealing with the aftermath of that, right? It's like, I knew better. I shouldn't have did that. Because that's what the house is about. It's like your wisdom. And it's also learning from an experience. So it may be an unfortunate experience that you had to go through. And now the aftermath is over. It was something that might have blew up in your face. Or it could be vice versa. It blew up in this person's face. And now you guys are dealing with the aftermath of that blow up. Okay? So just be careful. In reference to, you getting frustrated with someone. And it could be an energy of someone coming down on you, in a manner in which they say that, okay, well, you think you're better than me, or you're turning your nose up at me, or you're being, you think you don't have to do this, or you think you don't have to do that. It could be that type of energy with the 9th house, okay? And this could be coming from the way that you express yourself and your ideas. People may not like the way you express yourself or the way that you go about doing things. They may be criticizing you and ridiculing you about it. So just take that into consideration and decide how you're going to handle that, okay? Make sure you do it from a place that's just and that's fair, because that's what the 9th house deals with. It deals with justice. It deals with looking at everything and everybody involved and doing what's best for the collective, right? So let's talk about the career house, your 10th house, because this is where Mars is going to be moving into on the 20th, all right? So this is all about you fighting for your career. This is all about, your reputation, you fighting back, okay, in reference to people saying, oh, you're this, or you do that. And this could be in your work environment. So some of you could have issues in the workplace, in the work environment, and you may be in a position where you feel like you have to fight the opposition or fight the accusations that are being thrown at you, okay? Or it could be vice versa. It could be that you may have thrown some accusations at somebody because you saw them for who they really her, and now they want to, rebuttal. They want to give a rebuttal, or they want to fight it. Okay. This could be in contracts as well. So some of you could be going to court. Okay. So maybe you decide to opt out of court. Like, for example, Beyonce may decide, okay, I'm just going to remove Khaleesi's part off the album, right? Because the planets are talking all about these two. I swear to God, they are. And if you're following this story and you're looking at the planetary alignments and you understand about astrology, you'll see that this is amazing what's playing out between them. So, with the 10th house, this is about your reputation. So now Beyonce is in a position where, with Mars there, on the 20th, she's going to have to fight for her reputation, in reference to her ideas and her views being hers. Her ideas and things that she uses in her career being hers. So she's in a position now where people are saying, no, you bite off of other people, you copy off of other people. So you could be in a position where you are, fighting, what people think about in the workplace, or you're opposing a view about somebody else and how they look in the workplace. Okay. So just keep that in mind. That might be something that's brewing. Okay. And it might come to a head towards the end of the month. Now, we don't have much going on in your 11th house, but in your 12th house, this is your Leo house. This is the house of your unconscious mind. You got a lot of activity here. So what I want you to do is pay attention to your dreams, Virgo. Please write your dreams down, okay? And there are some things that you may, again, I get an energy of you really focusing on what it is that you need to let go of, all right? The new moon, and the Lionsgate portal is going to be opening up in your 12th house on the 8th. You're already probably feeling these energies. You're already probably having very vivid dreams about things. You're also probably, it could be an energy of you realizing that, you have an enemy. Okay, this person was hating on you all this time and you didn't realize it, and now it's coming to fruition. Okay? This person has always been hate. You may look at it like this person who's criticizing you is always, oh, this person's been a hater all this time. That's where that Neptune and retrograde energy could be coming from, in your 7th house. It's like, oh, okay, I see who the haters are now. So now all the haters want to come out because one person got an issue with me. So now everybody got an issue or something like that. Or now you're seeing that all these people who you thought were cool with you, or you thought were friends, or you thought were decent business partners, it's like I feel like everybody's on the attack, Virgo. I just feel like a lot of people are on the attack with you. So Venus to be in your 12th house, on the 8th, on the 11th. So Venus is all about what you value, what's important to you. It's also about money, okay? So be careful with the contracts that you're getting into. People could be coming at you. Like, for example, Beyonce got people coming out at her, out of the woodwork now because she's been sampling other people's stuff. So now they're gonna be trying to hit her up for money. Like, that's an example of what she's gonna be experiencing with this Leo. And guess what? Leo's in the 12th house for Virgo. Khalees is Leo. She got the replacements of Leo. So it's just interesting. Like I said, if you follow the story with these two, the planetary alignments are just speaking what's going on, if you understand how to interpret it. But for you guys who are not who are not Beyonce, and who are not, Khalees, this new moon in Leo energy is, showing you that, people, may be upset because you're in the spotlight. Like, you may do your job really well, or you may be very analytical about what you do, or you may be good at what you do, and there's people who are just going to try to come and rip that down from you for whatever reason. Whether they see that you've been, skipping corners and they bring that up, okay? Because if you've been skipping corners, it's going to be revealed, all right? If you haven't been skipping corners, then you may have to defend yourself, okay? So that could be the case for you. So I do want to pay attention to your relationships, what people are saying to you, how they're saying it to you. Pay attention to people who, be careful of people behind your back. Your dreams will reveal to you, who you need to watch out for, who you need to pay attention to. Pay attention to your dreams. Write them down, especially with this new moon energy, that, portal energy, that, Lionsgate portal. What that is, for those of you who don't know, I put something in the community tab about it, so check it out. It's the most simplistic way of explaining it that I could find. But what it is the planet, Earth, the sun, and the brightest star out there, which is Sirius. Sirius is like so much bigger than the sun and so much brighter than the sun. These three planets are going to be aligned to create a portal to the higher realms. And this is going to be energy where you're going to be able to manifest. But for you, it's in your 12th house. So you got ancestors looking out for you. And you also, that portal is also a portal of hidden enemies, spiritual enemies too. So you really need to pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to what's going on around you, okay? If you're a Virgo who's been doing dirt, the chickens are coming home to roost. If you know a Virgo who's been doing dirt, the chickens are coming home to roost for this Virgo, and you're going to sit back and watch with the popcorn, i.e. Beyonce, okay? So this is what I got for you, Virgo, for your astrology read for the month of August. If you need a personal, feel free to reach out. My information's in the box below. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget that I got another channel where I'm doing I'm doing more of less astrology. I'm doing tarot readings. It's on the channel called Mini Styles. The link is located in two places. I did a video that is entitled Major Change for this channel. The link is going to be in the description box there. And also, if you go into the community, I talk about there, and you can find the link for Mini Styles. So you go Mini Styles, subscribe. That's where I do God and God's readings. Now the true energies are going to be there. Now the silent enemies are going to be there. All right. And I got some other goodies for you guys over there as well. I love you guys. Thank you for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.